I'm Dr. Tamar Chansky, and today we're talking about how to apologize. Very important life skill for all. They say love makes the world go round, and that is absolutely true, but given the fact that we're all going to mess up sometimes, apologies really keep that love going and keep the world turning. But the fact is that they can be really difficult to do. We know what it feels like to get a great apology. Suddenly, when we were feeling terrible about something, someone comes to us with an apology that is sincere, not conditional, and we feel just like we can just let go. Every fiber of our being feels heard and understood, and there's a sense beyond our own comfort that there's a repair in the relationship that happens. And now that could be a misunderstanding at a store, could be with your partner or your child or a coworker or friend. It doesn't matter the scale in a sense. A good apology works well no matter what. And it works to repair the fracture that happened in the trust between you. So we know what a good apology feels like, but it still can be hard to do. A lot of it is the meaning that the apology has in our minds. We may have an idea, if we're the ones who need to apologize, that somehow it's not fair because that other person did something as well. Sometimes it's a clean one-way street apology needed. You have a bad day and you are grumpy or you blow up at somebody and it's clearly they had nothing to do with it, they were just there. That's a time when the apology is certainly sits with you, the need for it. Often it's a little more complicated than that. It's a mixture of things, but the thing is that if you're thinking about what's fair, you may wait and not apologize till the other person apologizes. They're gonna wait and not apologize till you apologize. You kind of, go nowhere. So instead of thinking about what's fair, you can think about what is going to be freeing of the place that you're stuck and the bad feeling you probably feel inside. What the gridlock in your relationship, you can move that along too. So thinking about what is most freeing for you and for the relationship and for the other person instead of what is fair. A lot of times too, when we think about apologizing, we feel that we're apologizing for who we are. If we were to apologize, it somehow is suggesting that we're not a good person or something if we admit to something that we need to apologize to. And really the important idea there is realizing that you are apologizing for the thing that you did, not for your entire existence. Think about it this way. When parents are parenting well, they say to a child who's just misbehaved, I still love you. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the behavior. It's the same kind of thing. We don't have to apologize for a whole existence. The other person is not asking for that. That's kind of more an idea in our minds. But we are apologizing for the thing that we have done that was upsetting to the other person. I'm sure if my cat could apologize for coming in the middle of this video, I'm sure that he would do that. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that. So we were talking about apologizing small, realizing that you are just apologizing for what happened. You don't lose all of your credibility as a human being by doing that. In fact, your credibility is enhanced by having the flexibility to know that you can mess up, that you can hurt somebody's feelings, and take responsibility for it. So we've talked about a couple of ways of rethinking apologies. There are a few more. So we talked about apologizing small, but now I'm going to say think about apologizing big. What I mean by that is be generous. Just imagine if you were given, and it's really the truth, we're kind of born with a capacity to apologize an infinite number of times. There's no limit on it. And so don't hold back. Be generous. Once you start, it's like anything else that I think the transition, the anticipation of apologizing, gets us very anxious that we're going to be scrutinized or, something along those lines. And the fact is that people will welcome an apology. So we can be generous with that apology. We have, many, many, many apologies to spare. So think about apologizing for the small, distinct thing that you've done, but doing it in a generous way. We probably have all had the kind of apology, and I'm going to use air quotes about that for that, which is I apologize if I ... When conditions are put on an apology, you're no longer apologizing. You're sort of doing the words of an apology with a hidden critique of the person still of their behavior. So really important that there's no ifs, ands, or buts in your apology, that it is sincere and unconditional. So sometimes, even with all of these ideas in mind, it's still hard to apologize. And where we might find ourselves is in a very painful spot that we don't feel ready to apologize. We feel stuck, the other person's stuck, the relationship is stuck. And what I'm going to suggest is that it's going to be, remember that the goal is about repair and reconnecting. That is where we're heading. It's not about scorekeeping, about who's taking responsibility for what. And so if you feel that you're not able to apologize yet, it's going to be really helpful if you say that. You could say, look, I know this was really not good, or it was, a mess, or whatever you might say. And I know that I want to apologize. I want to talk about it, and I don't feel ready yet. What does that do? It starts to ease a burden from you, but also for the other person, because what you're doing is you're kind of making the way towards the middle of reconnection. And it may be that your words, your willingness to go that far with your apology, and really your sincerity that you're not ready, that disclosure, that the other person may, in response to that, say something that helps the process along. So, apologies are standard equipment for all of us. Think about having that in great number, and realize that as you apologize and in your life and feel more comfortable with that the people around you will reciprocate and do the same, and that world will keep turning more smoothly because of it. So thank you for listening today. As always, here's to less worry all around, and more ideas can be found on my website, tamarchansky.com.